It is our distinguished honor to bring on the voice of the Philadelphia Flyers over the public address. His name is Lou Nolan, and he joins us here on BLS, live from the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame induction dinner. Lou, a 2015 inductee. Congratulations on a belated basis, but what does this night mean to you? You've now been coming to this year over year.
Well, it's special. First of all, to think that someone would say to someone else, and it grows that I should be inducted into Phillips Sports Hall of Fame. You know, as I said when I was here, I'm just a kid from Southwest Philly who happened to like hockey instead of basketball because I couldn't dribble, but I could stick handle and and inline skate, stuff like that. But and ice skate. But it's great. It's great to be here every year. These people do such a wonderful job.
You must love your job, being able to go down to South Philadelphia a couple times a week over the span of 5-6 months and be able to speak over the loudspeaker to the great fans of Philadelphia. If you could take us back to the early days of you getting started in that job, what would our eyes see if we could go back to that time?
Well, the first thing you would see is that I worked without glass, and yeah, well, nobody knew any different. You know, we didn't know any different. We thought that was what everybody did. In fact, most of them may have done that. And then the league decided that they'd put glass up all around, you know, so you could balance your checkbook there now if you really wanted to. But it was interesting. You know, I mean, my relationships with referees and linesmen were a lot better then than they are now. Of course, there were only 3 of them instead of 4 of them. But, you know, a lot of young guys now. But I'm still friends with some of those folks, and it was great. It was just close to the players. And Bob Kelly would tell me once in a while that he was going to send somebody into my lap. We're good friends to this day. And sure enough, Bob did. A little hip check, and somebody would come over the dash reports and land right in my lap. So good fun.
That's great. Lou Nolan here on with us at the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame dinner. We talked right before you came on air. I had the rare experience of habiting the booth that you sit in last year for a junior Flyers game. You were out of town, so I humbly, and I stress humbly, was able to take his spot for a day. It's tough what you do. I was doing some play-by-play as well as public address, but it is not easy, Lou. I can respect what you do every day.
Well, thank you. I would say to you, though, that what you did was more difficult than what I do.
The spotter never showed either, by the way.
Well, yeah, you kind of need a spotter. But you know, when they go in the corner, you have to just do your best. I don't know if you had a monitor or not.
I did not.
No I do. So, yeah. But you know, to do play-by-play like that is very, very hard to do. Play-by-play is tough enough anyway, but you know, when you can't see in the corners, very, very difficult. But from my point of view, what I do, it's changed now through the years. You know, it used to be just announcing when the dot matrix scoreboard was at the Spectrum, and then it went to announcing and turning on the light, you know, with a TV.
Yep.
And then after that, it's like announcing, turning on the light, and doing commercials that are in the new board. And then now they have a guy especially that turns on the light. That's his job. So, hey, what the heck?
Putting America back to work. Lou, we have our colleagues Eric Nash, Rob Stott here as well. If any of you guys have anything for Lou.
Yeah, I just want to say it's great riding the SEPTA bus with you, Lou. All of us, it's like all these Philly guys just hanging out.
I know you wanted to use tokens. You couldn't use tokens.
Yeah, I know. What a shocker
tokens.
that was. I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. But, you know, you are the author, I guess it would be the author, the man who said the saddest words that I remember in the 70s and the 80s. You know what they are? Flyers penalty. The worst. When we heard your voice, the Flyers penalty, oh, God. Because you remember back in the 70s,
there were lots
of them.
A
few penalties.
I was overworked back in those days. The league has made it so that doesn't happen anymore. You know.
They didn't pay you per penalty?
Nope. They didn't pay me for penalty. That's why I'm still here instead of like having my private island somewhere.
But it was good stuff. I mean, we love your
I'll tell you a little story.
Gene Hart. Oh, terrific.
Yeah, I wrote a book which is actually debuted yesterday. I have some here for sale, but they were in the book's a story that during one of those large penalty times, Bob Myers, referee, was working, and there was a brawl. I mean, everybody came over the boards, and he said, "Louis, give me a pad." So Louis is my hockey name. Seems everybody has a name with IE on it. And sure enough, I gave him the pad, and he's writing all these names down. He comes over to me, and you have to know that Ed Snyder would call me. And I was on speed dial on his phone. He would call me if he needed an explanation on something. So just as Bob's about to give me the penalties, a phone rings. I pick it up. I say, yes. He says, Lou, this is Ed. I said, Ed, give me just a minute. And I put the phone down. Not a good idea. So I got the penalties from the referee, and before I announced them, I picked the phone back up, and I said, yes, Ed. He says, Lou, he says, something I want to get straight between you and me. When I call, put the referee on hold.
Nice.
Yeah, Ed had a way about him, and it's true. I should have done that. But, I mean, it was things that happened down there in the heat of the battle are unbelievable, It's like, that happened the other night, We didn't even know that Jake Voracek had a double minor. At least I didn't. So, referees huddle. Next thing I know, Jake's going in. He's got 4 minutes. Luke Shen had 2. Who knows?
How close is your spot to the penalty box?
I am in the penalty box.
That's what I thought. So
I am at the red line.
There must be some good stories with that. There has to be.
Oh, yeah. In fact, the other day, I guess it was against Anaheim, Gudis had a fight, and it was nasty. One punch, the guy nailed him, one punch, and he went down. I mean, I never saw him get hit like that. And they came into the box. It was near the end of the period, so they went across. And they came back at the start of the next period and sat in the box, and they looked at one another. And Gudis said, should we just leave our gloves here? so I had never heard that before in all the years I've been in there.
Clever.
Which is a great idea, because as soon as they went out, bingo, they go again. So
That's awesome.
yeah, because play was going on. If they went out on a whistle, they couldn't really fight till the next time they're on, or else they'd get a game misconduct or something. Who knows? To make it easy for the referees.
You
So
think-
they come out at 2 minutes. I'm sorry, Rob. They come
Yeah.
out at 2 minutes and immediately start fighting.
Fives. 5-minute majors.
Oh, okay, right.
Part of it
Five,
served
right.
in one
Sure,
period, and a lot of it served in the second. And they had time to talk, and they knew they were going to go again, and it was,
That's beautiful.
yep.
That's
It's
incredible.
happened many times.
You think about just all the different makeups of teams that you've seen over the years. Is there anything that stands out about this team compared to a Bobby Clark-led team?
Speed, period. With the teams that were back in those days, with the Bullies and Clarkie's clubs, when they came up the ice, they didn't burst out like these guys do. These guys come out, whoo, and they're gone. A lot of it was boom, 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 boom. Then it's like bang. First pass out of the zone is really important. And when defensemen can make that first pass, then we got something going.
Is that the game in general, or is that just the Flyers?
Well, it's been the game in general up until this year for us.
Right.
And we've gotten a lot of speed this year. We have been lacking speed in the last couple of years, and picked it up now. And these young defensemen, they're certainly learning now. We're at St. Louis tonight, a tough game, and we're going to have 4 rookies in the lineup. 4 rookie defensemen. That's why sometimes the guys are alone, because 2 guys are on the same side of the ice, and they say, and it's too late. There's not the time to recover in the NHL.
Lou Nolan on with us here at the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame dinner to carry on with Rob's question, asking whether it's the Flyers or the sport in general. Is it the players? Is it the change in the rule, the removal of the 2-line pass, the things like that? And then if we could even carry that discussion into the changing in the goaltending and how that's changed over the last 20 to 30 years.
That's a long period of time.
Yeah.
20 to 30
Yes,
years.
yes, it is.
You look at equipment changes from Bernie Perrant now to our guys, and it's tremendous. The size of it is huge. Bernie's glove actually looked like a first baseman's mitt, and now, geez, when you look at them, they're incredible. But also with that, the sticks have changed because they're composite, and the puck moves a lot quicker. So that may balance out. From the standpoint of the league itself, taking out the red line was huge. And, the players themselves are just faster, younger, in better shape, and the diets are better because they look after everything. Flyers really have it covered because they do have a whole cook and everything else over at the practice facility. So it's a kitchen. they feed those guys the right stuff.
It's incredible. I think we can ask you because you're not a coach or player, so I think you can comment on officiating. Am I correct in that? I don't want to put you in the spot.
Well, you did, but that's okay. I think officiating has changed from the standpoint that the officials don't let them play, but the rules are such that if they apply all the rules, it's like the NFL. You could have penalty in every play. Flags flying all over the place. So when the stick is just right here, that's a hook. Slashes. If you just like this, it's not like the old days. And the players are baffled by it this year. They think that it's not not being applied properly, or else it's not a good rule.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a Wednesday night or Sunday night game, and Doc had the rule book from maybe the 60s, and it was 20-some pages long, and you look at today's, and it's like 250 pages long. It's incredible.
Yeah. And they take the referees to task because they now have supervisors who are former officials that see basically every game. So they're all critiqued. It's difficult. It's a tough job. I know. Back in the day, it was a tough job, but they let them play. Kerry Fraser was probably the last guy that really let them play, he left earlier than maybe he should have as a referee, but they could push down a little bit.
In today's day and age, though, you have these critiques, and that's going to help decide who gets to officiate playoff games. So
that's the point.
And so in the Stanley Cup playoffs, a lot of times it's determined by how they're upholding that rule book and how they are enforcing it. So what would need to change to improve what Rob's talking about?
What would need to change? I don't know. The general managers get together and sort of suggest rule changes. I think they're really tight in it now, every 10, 12 games in. I would like to see it relax a little bit. I don't know it will or it won't. Depends on what they tell them to do. Now, if I'm an official and I'm a young kid and I get an opportunity and I'm working games there, I'm going to do what they tell me because I like working the games. And I hope to get to the playoffs so I can get some kind of a bonus, too, as you mentioned.
Right.
Let me ask you, just if you could tell us, for a little bit of fun here, who's your favorite, the best goalkeeper you've ever seen play and the best non-goalkeeper? If that's
Bernie Perron is the best goalkeeper. I saw a lot of guys.
right.
I've seen thousands of games and over the 50 years of the Flyers. He was good. Dryden was good. Brodeur, great. Both of those guys. Bernie was the best, though, in my estimation. I saw him a lot more. So, tendency is to see him a lot more. I'm good friends with Brodeur, and, I was there when he had his 500th win, I think it was, in our building.
Right.
And gracious guy. Best non-goalie, Bobby Orr, Gretzky. One of my favorites, Steve Yzerman, who's just a good friend and a great guy. I love Steve. Just a captain extraordinaire, like Bob was. Would always get it done. He won a few Stanley Cups, Detroit. And, I think that a guy like Mario Lemieux, who is a very classy guy, very, very classy.
I got to get one more. Best fighter, pound for pound.
Pound for pound?
I guess that's how you'd have to look at it. How about best fighter? We don't have to go pound for pound.
Toughest guy, best fighter, Ben Wilson.
Ben Wilson.
Schultze, Homer. And Homer really, he had a problem with his balance on his skates, so once in a while he'd go down. Willie Plett,
Willie Plett.
Willie Plett was tough. And, you're going to fight with him. Brashear.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a guy.
A lot of flyers in there, Lou.
What's that?
A lot of flyers in there.
Yeah, we went from being the toughest team to the fastest team, or one of the fastest teams, so I hope that works.
Tonight,
that works.
It's time.
Tonight, Lou, a famous Flyer, Tim Kerr, being introduced and inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. What does it mean to you? What does it say to you? And what memories are evoked when you hear the name Tim Kerr and you'll see him tonight?
Well, Tim's a wonderful guy. 450 goal seasons in a row with us.
Amazing.
Sacrificed his body to get in front of the net and got when the defenseman actually could take you out. Now they don't.
Right.
Because they're not allowed. And just a top-notch guy who gave a lot here. His free agent signing, it was incredible. and to have somebody like that do that and contribute to the successes of this team. I mean, had he not been hurt and had Dave Poole not been nicked up, we might have beaten Edmonton and won a third cup. So, but that's hockey.
Last one for you. To be
Okay.
able to do this in your hometown for your whole life, if you knew that you were going to get to this level in hockey and somebody told you that when you were a little kid, could you have imagined doing it in your hometown for your whole life?
I couldn't imagine doing it in any town, really. I mean, I was introduced to hockey up at the arena with the Ramblers by a schoolmate of mine. You know, we played street hockey on Chicago shoe skates, which you put them, you wouldn't know about them, but you put them on your shoes behind the school. So, you know, to get the broken sticks because his uncle was a goal judge, and we tape them up and play. And I followed the original six and took the trolley downtown to get the books. And who knows, you know? And a guy like Gordie Howe was a good friend, you know, before he passed. So that's another guy. I didn't see him in his prime that he would rank up there because he didn't mess with Gordie, both as a player and as a tough guy.
Lou Nolan, a 2015 inductee into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame and a gracious guest with us. Thanks for giving so much of your time this evening, and enjoy your night.
I appreciate the opportunity. You guys do a good job here, and thanks for the questions and a chance to be part of the show.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Fred.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Okay.